WHIP, Temple student-run radio station, coming to you live from the Electric Factory, where we are glad to have with us today Perrin Cloutier of the band Beirut. Thank you so much for being here with us today, first of all.
Of course, thank you.
All right, so you primarily play accordion in the band, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What made you decide to pick up the accordion of all instruments out there? I mean, it's very unique, obviously.
The accordion is very important to Beirut's music, and it was hard to play live shows before we had an accordionist. And previously, I actually played cello in our band, and we were joined on a tour by Hawk and a Hacksaw, Jeremy Barnes and Heather Trost. And Jeremy Barnes is an amazing accordion player. And after he went on his way to continue his tour into Europe, we felt a little lacking, like because we just had this great accordion player playing with us, and then when he was gone, it became clear to me that we needed to get one, right? So after that, I just worked on it until through the summer, pretty much, until I was able to play a few shows and stuff. From there, grown into it a bit.
How did you get involved with Zach Condon, who is, to clarify for our listeners, I guess you'd say the founder, composer, and frontman of Beirut? Like, how did the two of you meet?
Zach and I met in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and at the time both of us were working at a ice cream shop in downtown Santa Fe, and we were both, we'd sort of chat from time to time and about music and stuff, but it was almost a year later that we actually wound up playing any music together.
Now, I know Zach actually plays many of the instruments featured, but do you compose your instrumental section, or are you given what you'll be playing, and how much control do you have over your sound in the band?
Well, that all depends, kind of. A lot of things are thought out all the way, like Zach conceives of a song, they'll maybe record the entire song by himself, or he'll take like a structure with like melody and chords and stuff like that, and take it to the band and be like, all right, let's like figure out how this is gonna go. So in one case or another, well, there's more or less freedom for us as band members and myself, the accordion player or whatever, to bring in like ideas and musical stuff. So there's a fair amount of collaboration when it's needed.
Also, what would you cite as your major musical influences, whether it be established bands or world music? I know Beirut is frequently associated with the Balkan sound. I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. But there are also so many other audible influences. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. One thing that everybody in our band in Beirut has in common, is just we're all sort of music obsessed, and are always listening to all kinds of different music. It kind of runs the gamut. I don't know what much else to say really about it.
I mean, well, say for example, the accordion being a very French sound. Do you find yourself listening to that a lot, or I mean, I've heard you guys also take where else have I heard Mediterranean influence, pretty much all over, and I mean it's definitely audible in music, but.
As far as accordion stuff, when I want to learn some, when I want to kind of get my head into a place of I'll learn a classic song, like a French song or something like that, or there's so many different styles, accordions just all over the world, so it just kind of depends on sort of setting, I guess.
All right, well, recording the mini videos for the Flying Club Cup, for anyone who doesn't know, again, there's a series of YouTube videos that feature the band playing impromptu sets and songs from the album all over Brooklyn, I believe it was. And that looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Were any of those experiences playing somewhat off the cuff particularly notable for you? Any stories from that? By the way, we're hearing some sound checking from Beirut.
Well, one of those videos that was, I think it was the song Cherbourg that we were
In the parking garage.
we recorded. We were kind of scouting out places, and we didn't really know where to go to shoot this video, and we wound up taking a break. You know, the whole band took a break after we'd done like a few songs or whatever, and the filmmakers, you know, they went off and ran around like for, like, we got dinner, and then they came back and were like, we found this amazing like building where they store all the ice cream trucks, and they said they'd stay open and like let us record there, so we all like rushed over, and inside was like, you know, in New York, all the ice cream trucks that drive around in Brooklyn or whatever, like the whatever they are, Mr. Softy's truck, and like a bunch of them that were like burnt out, like that aren't going anywhere. You know. Yeah, exactly. Graveyards, exactly what we referred to it as. That was really just bizarre, because that's something, you know, regular people don't ever see that. So that was a highlight for me.
One of my favorites, actually, I think you guys, unfortunately I can't recall the song at the time, might have been Nante's. You're playing, it appears to be by a bridge, you're down by the beach or something like that. Can you tell me a little bit about that one? It just seemed especially cathartic for some reason.
That one's very dark.
St. Apollonia.
Yeah, it was Apollonia, I'm sorry.
Yeah, St. Apollonia, yeah. Well, that was actually later, I believe, in that night, and we were just, we were thinking about calling it a day, but decided that doing a video like with the sorry, I'm a little lost of words. Doing it with a New York skyline in the background would be really cool, even if you can't really see anything in the video. Maybe, you know, it'll come off being already in work somehow. So like,
I'd say it was beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, that video, that was very hard to play in the dark.
Especially the accordion.
I dragged an upright bass out onto the rocks, so that and was playing it on that.
I recall not being able to see actually who was playing what.
Yeah, sure.
Just listen to the beautiful noises. Also, do you have any particular future hopes or plans for where the band will go, what you'll do? I know you've got a few tour dates planned in Europe during the summer. Is there anywhere you haven't been that you'd love to go to, or?
Oh, there's so many places I'd love to go. We keep our touring to sort of special shows here and there, you know, like, and try not to overdo it anymore, because in the past it hasn't really worked for us as far as, like, you know, touring can interrupt the sort of process of like making, you know, new songs and stuff if we do it for too long. So like tour a little bit and then come back. I think we're going to be definitely looking forward to making a new record, you know, in the, you know, coming months, you know, whatever, starting to work on writing new stuff. Or honestly, you know, there's so many places that I like to go, and it would be hard to start listing them, but Japan's one of them. That's a big one for me. But no plans yet.
You never know though, right?
Yeah.
That would be great. All right, well, that pretty much concludes our interview. And once again, we'd like to thank Perrin Cloutier from the band Beirut for being gracious enough to be with us today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much.